Today we're talking about the Proverbs 31 woman. I've just done a series about not chasing the wrong man, how to be happy single after a heartbreak, and what to look for when you finally find a good man. This is a follow-up video to that last video. If you have found a good man of God, this is for you. This video is for you. I'm gonna put a disclaimer in here. You are not going to try to become a Proverbs 31 woman in order to win over a man or to win his love. This is for you who has found a good man, or for you who are single. Just single and waiting on the right man. It's not to be used in order to win a man's love or anything like that. If you feel like that's your intentions by watching this video, I recommend you go back and you watch my video on how to stop chasing the wrong man, and hopefully that video can help you. So anyway, this is for you who has a man that truly loves you and wants to spend the rest of his life with you. Nothing else is accepted, okay ladies? Good. So we're gonna read Proverbs chapter 31 verse, let's see here, verse 10 and forward to the last verse, verse 31. So, who can find a virtuous and capable wife? She is more precious than rubies. Her husband can trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She finds wool and flax and busily spins it. She is like a merchant's ship, bringing her food from afar. She gets up before dawn to prepare breakfast for her household and plan the day's work for her servant girls. She goes to inspect a field and buys it. With her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She is energetic and strong, a hard worker. She makes sure her dealings are profitable. Her lamp burns late into the night. Her hands are busy spinning thread, her fingers twisting fiber. She extends a helping hand to the poor and opens her arms to the needy. She has no fear of winter for her household, for everyone has warm clothes. She makes her own bedspreads. She dresses in fine linen and purple gowns. Her husband is well known at the city gates, where he sits with the other civic leaders. She makes belted linen garments and sashes to sell to the merchants. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. When she speaks, her words are wise, and she gives instructions with kindness. She carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. Her children stand and bless her. Her husband praises her. There are many virtuous and capable women in the world, but you surpass them all. Charm is deceptive and beauty does not last, but a woman who fears the Lord will be greatly praised. Reward her for all she has done. Let her deeds publicly declare her praise. So, to become a Proverbs 31 woman, it does not start when you meet your man and you get married. It starts in the single season. It starts with you working on yourself as a single woman in order to also attract the right man. If we look nowadays, modern feminism, it's not about the Proverbs 31 woman, but I truly believe that true feminism should be from Proverbs 31. It truly should. I think it's so good when it says in verse 11, her husband can trust her and she will greatly enrich his life. In the series that we did before this, I talked about how the man should be to you, and it's very important for you to receive the right treatment from the man that you're with. And once you know you're with the right man and it's a good man that will treat you right and serve you, you also need to serve him. He needs to be able to trust you, and he needs to feel like you truly enrich his life. This does not mean that you have to dress all fancy all the time and never say no and never have a fight. No, it goes much deeper than that. If you are a woman of God, you naturally will have the fruit of the Spirit and you will enrich his life, just like he will enrich yours. Serve him just as he serves you. Respect him just as he respects and loves you, just as Christ loves the church and would give his life for her. The least we can do is to respect our man in this situation. If he truly loves you and is ready to sacrifice himself for you, who are we to not respect him back, to show him that he can trust us? And another important thing is to communicate with him. He can't read your thoughts. Yeah, often, many times, at least in my case, if our man truly loves us, I think they know us, they know us, and they know our moods before we speak. But that doesn't mean we don't need to communicate. It's really important to communicate with your man. In verse 12, it says that she brings him good and not harm all the days of her life. I think nowadays there's so much hurt, so much resentment, so much that comes from the dating life and hookup culture and all of these things, being with the wrong men, that builds this resentment and like hate within women's hearts. And like I said, modern feminism is nothing like the Proverbs 31 woman. If you're a modern feminism and you read this, that your husband should be able to trust you and that you should enrich his life, if you read that you should bring him good and not harm, that might spark something within you, and you will be like, I feel like often there's just so much focus on what men should bring and what men should do, and like you are this superpower masculine woman sort of thing, and the men mean nothing, but they really do. But in order for them to also be able to be their best selves and to truly enrich our lives, we need to do the same for them. It's give and take. It truly is. In verse 27, it says, she carefully watches everything in her household and suffers nothing from laziness. As it also says in verse 17, she is energetic and strong, a hard worker. This doesn't mean that you need to be outgoing and strong and a hard worker all the time, but it does show that as women, we're not just supposed to sit back and do nothing. Absolutely, we're supposed to work, we're supposed to be strong and semi-independent in a way, and to have lives of our own. But I also believe, as a Christian woman, that men and women have different roles. It's not the same in that sense. Individually, of course, a woman can do something, that's considered a man job, and vice versa. But overall, we do have different roles, and we have there are things that men are better at that women maybe are not as good at most of the time, and things that women are very good at and men maybe are not so good at. And of course, the famous verse 25. She is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. Be clothed in strength, in the strength of the Lord, and dignity. This is what I mean with queen mentality. I have a playlist. This video will be in that playlist. Queen mentality. Be clothed with strength and dignity. Just like Esther, when she, despite not being invited to the king, chose to go before him in order to save her people, the people of Israel. It's not so much about physical appearance as it is the heart. Where does your heart stand? Do you have a heart that truly wants to please the Lord before man and before self? If so, I think you're on a good way to become a Proverbs 31 woman. And also, to be a Proverbs 31 woman, I don't think it's ever a work that will be completed, that will be finished. It will always, as long as we live, be a work in progress. But it's something to strive for, and it's something we have the opportunity to work on continuously throughout our lives. A happy, healthy relationship takes two people. It takes an amazing man and an amazing woman that choose each other each and every day. It's not about one person chasing after the other person and hoping to somehow be worthy of their love. It's about choosing to love one another each and every day. And despite circumstances and things that happen in life, to still stand strong and stand firm together as a team. To be a Proverbs 31 woman is to take care of your family. It's to take care of your man. And I truly believe that the only way to do this is with the help of God. He can show you how you can serve well. He can show you how to act and how to be the wife that your husband needs. He can teach you in your single season how to become the woman that will eventually attract the right man. So pray to him to help you to become a Proverbs 31 woman, and you will see the fruit of it, and the fruit is good.